Dear ones, we observe the confusion and emotions causing many of you to think you have somehow lost your way. The spiritual journey has changed from the way you have known it in the past, for it is no longer a path of seeking and searching, but is now an action of realizing, accepting, and living. I already am everything I have been seeking. The process of evolution can leave a person feeling lost and even panicked if they have no idea of what is taking place as their comfortable but illusory foundation begins to dissolve. Familiar ways of processing the world no longer feel right because his new state of consciousness is resonating differently from what he was used to. Spiritual evolution is guided by the higher self as an individual becomes ready for new levels of awareness. If he is not consciously aware of his readiness or even interested in spiritual matters, a great deal of confusion and upset may result as the experiences necessary for a spiritual growth begin. Solutions for a third-dimensional world were perfect and necessary for that consciousness, but because so many have now moved beyond a third-dimensional state of consciousness, the solutions of the past no longer resonate. Solutions built from a foundation of truth healing are shifting and opening into higher and better forms of expression, but those based in duality and separation will simply dissolve as there will no longer be the energy to sustain them. If feelings of being lost have been or still are your experience, know that you are not losing your way, going crazy, or spiritually regressing. Each evolutionary level of consciousness attained is yours forever. You can never regress to an old state of consciousness. Many attempt to do this thinking it will solve a relationship issue or help them fit in better, but within themselves they will remain their attained state of consciousness. Likewise, there are those who pretend a state of consciousness not yet attained, which why it is important to trust your intuition when choosing a teacher or path of any kind. The only true teacher is within, and your realization of that will manifest outwardly as the teacher, book, class, or path that is right for you. Truth must move from being intellectual knowledge into a living, breathing state of consciousness. It begins with an intellectual seeking of truth, followed by the accepting and practicing of it in even the simplest of daily activities. This does not mean taking a rigid stand in absolute truth, which would be pretending of a state of consciousness not yet attained. It means living out from one's highest attained state of awareness, which will begin to manifest as new truths and deeper awareness. Evolution never stops or becomes stagnant. It is an ongoing journey both on this side and the other. As you learn live in acknowledgement of your oneness and completeness, you will soon begin to experience synchronistic events, ideas, solutions, and a new peace of mind ranging from the simplest of daily activities to the most profound of problems needing solutions. Source knows nothing about larger or smaller, it just is, complete and whole at all times. The mind then interprets this outwardly as what is needed. The temptation is to try and make that which worked in the past continue working in the same way. At this time there are higher frequencies of light pouring to earth which are serving to dissolve and replace the old. You who read these messages have chosen to evolve and be a part of this, having already attained a state of consciousness that is able to understand and resonate with truth. Analyzing and trying to understand God with the human mind is a three-dimensional activity of futility because the human mind simply cannot do it. The mind is an avenue of awareness able only to bring forth what is already out there floating about in the universal consensus consciousness until an individual evolves to where his mind is able to access the contents of divine consciousness. From this source the mind is then able to bring forth the deeper truths, new ideas, information, and as of yet unknown facts. This is well from which great artists, musicians, and scientists drink. A human mind will draw upon what it has known or can easily access, which is why individuals often find themselves reverting to old habits and beliefs in times of stress. The mind is simply presenting what it has been programmed with. Express love and gratitude to your mind, for it is a perfect tool of awareness while never rebuking yourselves for an occasional slip into old habits. This will simply give it a power it does not have. Slips happen less and less as you lovingly redirect and reprogram the mind with truth. Never punish yourself emotionally for thoughts that may pop up or drift through your mind as you go about your day. Thoughts, concepts, and beliefs are never yours until you accept them as yours. They are impersonal energy floating about in the universal world consciousness. However, a person's personal programming and past life experiences can attract specific types of thoughts and beliefs. Energy aligns with like energy. For example, a person who has experienced many lifetimes involving health and disease issues is more open and receptive to impersonal but universal suggestions having to do with disease versus health. If he embraces these suggestions, he will probably experience a lifetime of real and imagined illnesses and health issues. There is no unexpressed consciousness. You create with every thought you think and every belief you hold. Humans have attained a spiritual readiness to realize who and what they really are and start living it. There are those who still refuse to move beyond the obsolete belief system they know and love, in the belief that the world they see with their eyes is real and cannot or must not change. Free will allows all to evolve at their own pace, and the right time comes for everyone. Your time is now. You must now leave behind any outgrown dependencies upon a person, tradition, ritual, or object that may have helped you in the past. This does not mean that you cannot love, hold, or work with crystals, or that you can never attend a class or read a book you may be drawn to. It means that you are now ready to let go of believing you need or are dependent upon anything or anyone outside of yourself in any aspect of your lives. It means living from center, from that still place of wholeness already present within. As you witness chaos and pain in the world at this time, remember that every soul chooses before incarnation those experiences necessary for their own or the world's learning and evolution. Some dear ones are experiencing very difficult but necessary lessons right now. Others facing the same situations have chosen these difficult experiences in order to assist the evolution of mankind as a whole. All is proceeding according to plan, there are no accidents. Consider yourselves privileged to be part of the birth of a new world consciousness. Gaia is evolving and will do so with or without your support. Divine consciousness is, always has been, and always will be the only reality and the only power, but at this time many who are ready but unwilling, learning it the hard way. Dear ones, in spite of the appearances that confront you personally or globally, never forget that you and all others are and always have been perfect, whole, complete, and can never die. This has been the goal of every lifetime and you are there. Your time is now. We are the ARCTURIAN group,